Hi, I'm Cuba Gooding Jr., and you're watching heedTV. You know you got a ticket out of this place. Just need the discipline.
Let's go.
If you want to throw your life away, so be it. But he's with me. Chess is no different than life. I didn't see the end game, and it cost me, man. It cost me big.
How are you today?
I'm phenomenal.
That is incredible.
Yes, sir.
So good to be here talking to you about your new film.
Thank you.
Life of a King, which I had the chance to check out. Incredible film, very moving.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to take on this role of Eugene Brown?
Yeah, well, if there's a theme that a lot of the roles that I get attracted to, I think it's real life people. I think that's the first thing. If there's a theme to the story, actually, it would be father-son relationships. I mean, if you think of Boys in the Hood, Trey and Furious, Men of Honor with Master Chief Carl Bashir and his father, and then even Lee Daniels, the butler. You had the butler and his two sons, and how you saw the civil rights movement play out through their relationship. I think when I was growing up, in the 70s and 80s, there wasn't, that was the thing. It was a common thing that a lot of my buddies didn't have fathers. They were raised by their mothers. So when I hear these real life stories of men who raised sons to do great things, to turn our country into the great country that it is, I get gravitated towards it because I want people to hear these stories. So I think it's, and on top of all of that, I just like the idea of telling this story of an ex-con who got out of prison and turned these young high school kids who could be in gangs, who could be carrying guns, but instead he turns them into chess champions. I thought that was brilliant. I just thought there's a story that a lot of kids today need to know and hear, especially when it comes to just so many senseless acts of violence on the news, these carjackings just drive me crazy. It's like if these young men knew that, you can use that sports figure to want to have the cars he has and the money he has, but you are destined for great things. These kids, man, they see that easy money is the only way out, and I don't blame them for thinking that way. And no matter what your opportunities are, what your resources are, intellectually you can pull yourself out of a lot of this mess. And you don't look at stories like this judgmentally. You just hope that one person gets an idea to create something better for his life based on somebody else before him. He's not the first one to attempt this, and I think that's what gives people confidence when they feel like that they're not setting some new standard. They're just doing something that they're supposed to do.
And thinking about the film, one thing that I was impressed by was I wasn't overwhelmed by celebrity, if you will. So for me watching the movie, I believed it a whole lot.
Everybody have a seat.
You here to clean the blackboard?
Come on, y'all. Have a seat.
Oh, what? You some kind of tough guy?
You want to find out? Huh? And these kids stayed in character like we were shooting Taxi or Boys in the Hood. I mean, they were like, this is our world and we're going to live it. We're going to be method actors on this. And their devotion to telling the truth of the story was just so strong. And it really moved me emotionally every day because I felt like Furious Styles in this environment, And I think that they're not going to just be great actors, but great filmmakers. I believe that with these kids, and it's great to be a part of that.
How was it filming this movie in 15 days?
It was rough, man. I mean, we didn't even have trailers. They didn't have trailers or craft service and none of that. You know what I mean? It was like that guerrilla-style filmmaking. It felt like you were making a documentary,
Now,
Actually, that's a little bit of a lie, because they finally brought me a trailer. I had one trailer.
Was that important for you, though, or for the film to make it kind of feel like a documentary?
I think so. And I think that's what made Jake Goldberger's take on it cinematically so refreshing, because he used a DP and cameramen who were used to shooting documentary style. Our DP did a lot of Sacha Baron Cohen films, where he would get in a situation, shoot it, and then figure out an exit plan because people freaked out what just happened. And you had that sense of urgency, that intensity, and you needed that because we were shooting. I mean, listen, we're shooting a movie about chess. How exciting can it be? But you've seen it. I think intellectually, and I think emotionally we connect with the characters in a way that moves us and allows the story to unfold in real time with characters we identify with.
Anything else you want to share with us in reference to the film?
Well, we talked about the actors, we talked about the director. It comes out January 17th on video on demand and in select theaters. And yeah, I mean, if they know that, that's a good thing. I'm really proud of the Butler and everybody involved in it, and I'm looking forward to attending that ceremony and being in support of that film. And all the great, I mean, we had some great films this year with 12 Years a Slave and Fruitvale Station, you know, but more importantly, we found real film directors, real filmmakers, you know, Ryan Coogler and Steve McQueen. I mean, these are who are telling our stories, you know, so it's an exciting time.
How you doing, Jake?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Thank you for giving us this time to talk about your film.
Oh, my pleasure. You kidding?
Life of a King. Incredible movie. I had the chance to check it out. Very moving.
Thank you very much. It means a lot to me.
Very inspirational.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yes. So my first question for you: what drew you to do this actual film?
You know, it took us 10 years to get it made. So when I had first heard the story of Eugene Brown, it was so inspiring to me. And the fact that this guy, and I keep saying it, it's not just about somebody who can make a difference. It's somebody who is making a difference using chess. I thought it was so inspiring. I thought it was a story that needed to be told. And you know, we really dug our heels in, and it took forever to get it done, but I think it was worth it.
Did you have characters in mind when thinking about?
When I first came to this project, I came as a writer, and I was asked to do a small rewrite on another draft written by a couple other guys. And we had developed it to the point where, you know, this is what they tell you, by the way. It'll be a small rewrite. A year later, we've completely, you know, I've done a full page one rewrite on the script. So some of the character archetypes were already in there. Some of the characters were already in there. I invented a bunch myself. So it was a whole combination, plus stories Eugene had told me about things that have really happened. So I wanted to infuse the story with as many of his stories as possible also.
How was it directing Cuba Gooding Jr.?
It's a dream come true. You know, for me, I'm not just a, you know, director. I'm a huge movie geek. So when I get the opportunity to work with somebody like Cuba, for me, you know, I have to be a professional and really keep it. But they are really, really good actors, and I hope for their sake that this movie is able to do something for them.
What do you want people to take most from Life of a King?
I want people to understand that they can make a difference. It doesn't matter what socioeconomic background you come from, you can make a difference in your life. You can make a difference, you know.
And is there anything else you would like to share with us about the film?
I just hope, you know, I'm very proud of it, and I hope people see it and they're inspired by it and that they like it, you know. I really do.
Yes, and we love it. So
Thank you. That's nice of you.